Hello and welcome back to another episode of Coast Football Weekly. This week, we're joined by one of the youngest coaches amongst our men's Premier League first grade ranks. He's the head coach of Budgewoi FC. Welcome to the pod, Corey Atkinson.
Thanks for having me, Blundo. Good to be here.
Now, I'm sorry the 1 week I had to get you on, it was following your first defeat of the season. So if we can just start with that, 4-3 loss to Terrigal. Talk us through that result.
Yeah, look, these things happen. When teams want it more than your boys, it's going to happen. A couple of blunders at the back, which kind of gifted them 2 goals. Late surge at the end, but just we couldn't get there. Yeah. So credit to Terrigal, they got the job done. Yeah,
I believe they went up 4-1, then a few late goals. Was there a chance to maybe get an equaliser, or was it just time just ran out?
Nah. Look, we brought it. They were 2-0 up. And we scored 2-1, and they immediately, within 30 seconds, scored again. So that put us in a bit of a slump going into halftime. Mm-hmm. Come back, they've scored a corner, 4-1 down, made a few changes, and then it did look like we were going to come back, but time just ran out.
Yeah.
Maybe if there was another 10 minutes, we could have got there, but wasn't meant to be.
I mean, looking on the bright side, you're still sitting first on the ladder, only the 1 loss this year. It is your second year at the club. What made you first join Budgewoi?
So I've always wanted to do seniors. Mm-hmm. And when I was at CCU, I mean, there probably could have been chances to go up into the senior roles, but I just wanted to try something new.
Yep.
Had a few mates that were already at Budgewoi, had already coached a few players that were at Budgewoi from when they were in the youth at CCU. And so just hit up H and just went from there, just took off.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
Did you think you'd have so much success in your first year at the club?
Nah, absolutely not. Obviously, looking back at it, we went over, H and I went over where we needed to improve, who we could bring in, and then, never in a million years. We sort of had a 3-year plan of where we wanted to get to, and it happened within a year. It was successful in a sense, but yeah.
And I'm sure it meant a lot to you, but someone like Hayden Appo, who's been there for so long, to get that league champions, what did it mean to him and sort of the rest of the club?
Obviously a lot difference from me and him, but with him being there his whole life, that just meant the world to him. And then
boys in the club,
too. 2 boys who were firing, and then obviously just with the older heads that were there and the younger boys that were coming through, he loved every minute of it. It was good to see.
Yeah. Do you think as soon as you sort of went in, the boys brought into what you were trying to build there, or was there sort of a bit of a challenge because you hadn't done a senior squad before? Was there a bit of...
I think like a bit of yes and no. Obviously, the boys that we brought in, I'd all coached before at CCU or at the Mariners. So they sort of knew the style that we wanted. Mm-hmm. And then with the quality that they already had, it was just a perfect fitting. Like you said, I didn't think it was going to happen so quick, but they took off, and it was good to see.
As someone who's played in the local competition, coming back as a coach, how do you think the league's evolved over the years since you sort of stepped away and have come back?
I mean, when I was younger, it was definitely a lot rougher.
Yeah.
Less
technical.
Yeah, less technical, bit more on the on the physical side. Mm-hmm. But I think it would have been about 10, 11 years since I'd been on the coast, and there's so much talent. It's so good to see. There's good players in every team, which is good.
Yeah. Obviously made the grand final last year. Quite a few injuries, which obviously didn't help the cause, but did go down to Southern.
Yeah.
Reflecting on that result, do you think it was just under strength? I feel like Southern, they had a lot to play for, probably deserved it on the night. Is that how you see it?
Yeah, look, they definitely deserved it. You hate to say injuries are the cause of all these things, but, I had to play.
Yeah.
That was my second game of the year. So we were underdone.
First start, was it?
Nah, I started the week before.
Oh, okay.
Couldn't walk for the whole week and then had to start again. We were missing Swatto, Stewie Adams. I think Chris Lennon was taped up like a mummy.
Yep.
Charlie had been injured the last 3 weeks. So, I mean, look, without making excuses, Southern, they just wanted it so much more than what we did. They'd been there before. You know, everyone, I think we were a bit nervous, you know. But yeah, credit to Southern. Like they got us when it mattered last year.
Do you think that's lit a fire under the boys to do one better this year? And
yeah, I hope so. Obviously, our only loss last year was to Southern at Southern. So, you know, we penciled that one in nice and early, and we just got the job done.
What a fixture that was.
5-4, that was good for an attacking point, I guess. You know, both sides didn't want to defend. But I think in coast football, or people on the coast, like, the league doesn't really matter to most people.
Yeah.
So I'd love to do them in the Grandy.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah, I feel like it's always the grand final winners are remembered more. No matter if you went through the year undefeated like Kalani have in the past. You just talk about they lost that one game with Terrigal, and that's happened quite a lot in the past. Coming into this season, finishing first, do you think the boys have had a target on their back, and how do you feel like they've handled it?
Yeah, I think obviously from the difference from last year is teams, or coaches and teams, they didn't expect anything from us.
Bit unknown.
Yeah, so, you know, we had all these strengths in attack and everything like that, but now, the difference between now is everyone knows the players, right? They know what we're trying to do, and teams want to beat us.
Yeah.
Right? If you look at Terrigal yesterday, like, you could tell that they just wanted to beat the team that hasn't been beaten yet. And we were up to it in a football sense, but that was it. And that Terrigal sides, they've got a lot of experience, and that it just got us. But overall, every team just wants to beat us. Like, I feel like teams or players are just looking at who we're playing on the weekend and just going rooting for the other team.
Yeah,
and it's tough.
Yeah, and obviously coming into this year, you did recruit some players.
Yeah,
Gorvo, Verity, just to mention a few. How have they settled in?
Yeah, they're good. Like, the culture at Budge really makes, like, the player and our team. So if the player isn't going to fit in our culture, they're definitely not going to, like, play for us. So I think we already ticked the right boxes before they actually join us, or while they're joining us. And yeah, they've settled in good. I'd say we were 100% before yesterday.
Yeah.
But all the new players, they've come in, they've settled in well. Some of them are still adapting to the style of play that we do like to play, but you can see them improving week in, week out. So yeah.
Speaking about more on yourself, CCU, was that the first time you started coaching? How did that sort of come about?
So I think when I was like 15, 16, I coached my mate had a younger brother that was playing under fives.
Right.
So I did that just for 1 year. I managed to take like a 10-year break after that because it was a bit full on. And then it just randomly happened. I think a dad was like talking to my mum at work and they needed a coach for an under, I think it was 14s at Carryong.
Yeah.
And back then, I think they were all so CCU had the development squads.
Yep.
And if they didn't make the first team for their age group, they all played at Carryong. And so I coached that for a year, started the second year with them, and then halfway through that, a coach at CCU left. So I took over the 15s at CCU. I was there for 6.5 years, coached every age group at CCU except for first grade. Yeah. And then found my way to Budge.
And that was why you were playing, right? How did you manage playing and coaching?
Yeah, so that was full on. Had a lot of help from Chopo, Stephen Arbello. So I worked alongside him for those 6 years. And there was I think there was one of the years while playing first grade. So me and Chopo did the 13s, then I did the 16s and he did the 18s. So we'd be in Sydney at, 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, coach all day, and then I'd drive out to the other part of Sydney just to play first grade. So I was tired come Sunday, but I just love coaching. I love playing, so it didn't really take a toll.
Yeah. Did you think you'd always transition into a sort of coaching role, especially as young as you were, while still playing in your career?
Nah. So I think I was 25 when I first started coaching at CCU, and that was the same thing again. Like Crowley and Stu, hit me up, had an interview, liked what I was saying, liked what I brought to the table, and then I think just from there, like I decided to take a real big passion for it, and then go, all right, I want to actually take this further, and then so managed to get my licenses, and then just keep pushing for further.
How do you think your style's changed over the years, especially going from juniors to seniors?
Yeah, so it's not too different, but the big difference with youth and seniors is in the youth, you might have to go over the same thing every 3 to 4 weeks because they're still learning. And with the seniors, they just, they get it straight away. And I mean, it's not that I enjoy that more. It's just so much more refreshing
and easier,
right? Mind you, I love developing kids, love seeing the kids that you coach for a year at CCU and then they go to the Mariners. Like that's the pathway. But yeah, I think in terms of style, the youth players at a rep level they're so technical. So it's actually like you get a lot more feel for tactics and whatnot, but then you're just going over it all the time. And I think with senior, it's still the same, but it's a lot quicker.
Yeah.
You can actually get up the field quicker. You can do different patterns and they work, like people understand it a bit better.
Do you have any non-negotiables as a coach?
In terms of playing or just in general, non-negotiables?
Yeah.
Not really. I don't like to put restraints on any of the players or anything like that. I obviously have non-negotiables when we're playing, which, sometimes it sets me off when we're not, when we, if we concede a goal in a certain way, like I just can't stand that because, we should have been we've practiced for it.
Yeah.
But, I don't like setting non-negotiables, outside of football either because I don't care what they do. Just turn up, play, get the job done.
Yeah.
Come to training, enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
And then go for it.
Where do you want to sort of take your coaching? Obviously, you're at Budgewoi now, first grade. Do you have plans to maybe be at CCU first grade one day in an NPL setup or
it's
playing it by ear?
While I've got a young family, I'll stay at Budge. I've got a baby girl on the way at the end of this year, so I don't plan on leaving Budge anytime soon, but I'm in the progress of getting my A license, so definitely in the future could see myself going higher. But, that all comes with opportunities when they arise and all that kind of stuff. But still got a lot to learn as well. So I think the ultimate goal would be to coach as high as possible. But life gets in the way. So we'll see where it takes us.
And as a player, when do you see yourself hanging up the boots?
I would have liked to have thought we recruited well enough this year to not play.
Yeah.
I had to do a 30-minute stint last week against Gosford. I felt good, but I'm hoping not to do it again.
Yeah.
Maybe like, over 35s or something in a couple of years. I'm not there
More
yet.
More casual,
but I think I still have a massive competitive drive as well as coaching and playing. But my knees aren't holding up like they used to. So
I was going to say you've dealt with some knee problems.
I've had 4 knee surgeries.
Known you, right?
Yeah.
When was the first one? When did that sort of?
So I done my ACL when I was 18.
Yeah.
I broke into the Berkeley Vale first grade squad. With Stu.
Yeah.
As the coach, I think my second game in tore my ACL.
Right.
And then I've had 3 other meniscus tears on both that just keep happening.
Yeah, it's not great, is it?
So apparently I've done twice on the opposite on both legs, and the surgeon said that he's never seen it in one, and I managed to do it in both.
Oh,
so
I've
done a good job of it. Yeah.
And was that just off the ball? Was that?
Yeah, I think when I play, because I'm when I was younger, I was quick, so it's the running and then stopping and like the change of direction.
Yeah.
And then the knees they just give way.
Yeah. You also were a coach for Central Coast Football when we head out to Mudgee for the association championships. How's it feel going back from seniors to juniors? How's that experience been?
It's definitely a change of pace.
Yeah.
But like I said, right, I'm just so passionate. Doesn't matter what age group it is, I enjoy it, right? So they're a good bunch of kids. Obviously, I've got the 14 boys.
Yep.
And that's next week that we go away. I'm super excited. I think, the kids and the families are excited.
Yep.
So it'll be good.
And how's it been working with another coach as well, with Jacob?
Yeah, so got Jacob as my assistant. He's been good, right? Because it's hard to get two people on the same wavelength. I feel like we work really well together. I think he's been at Rose Academy for a few years now. So it's been good. We work really well off each other. And
how was the squad selection process? Was it as easy as you'd want it to be, or was it quite difficult?
So I knew the style that we wanted to play.
Yep.
And how we wanted to get things done. So, but I think the hardest thing is I was supposed to be here for both the trials, and then they moved it forward a week, and then I was in Queensland. I had like a month holiday, so I couldn't actually get there for the second trials. So from the first trial, picked what I liked, along with Jacob.
Yep.
And then just basically said to Jacob, look, I trust you. This is a starting block. Go from there. And he said he had no problems with the players that we both took off that first night. They done well the second night, made a few changes. Some kids were in that top 16, and then other kids had shun in the second trial. So brought them in, and it's been good.
And the squad that has been picked, we head away next week. By the time this episode is released, we will be in Mudgee.
Yeah.
But we've had a few trial matches. How have the boys responded in those games?
Yeah, it's good. So we managed to get one training session in, and then we played my old club CCU, and we got battered 7-0, which, I think when you've got, they all seem to be mates.
Yeah.
Right. So CCU just wanted to come out and absolutely wreck us.
Yep.
Chopo and the coach obviously wanted to beat me. I obviously wanted to beat them, but it wasn't meant to be. So, and then obviously that was the first time we got to see him play on an 11-a-side pitch, right? So we didn't quite have it right with the players in positions, a lot of trial and error. And then the next week we played the Mariners and we managed to have a 1-1 draw. So that was super positive.
Yep.
We went up 1-0 and they scored a goal with like 4 minutes to go.
Right.
So, we held on till the very end.
Yeah.
But, we faced two quality sides, both NPL, train 3 nights a week, play for since December.
Yep.
Right. So I think the boys have done super well to even be competing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the goal at Mudgee, it's go and win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the players are on board with that.
We made sure that the players knew that if they're to play in a squad with me, there's only one choice, and that's to win.
Yeah.
So if they weren't prepared to go guns blazing, we'll just pick someone else.
Has there been any issues sort of integrating players from different clubs? Maybe if they've had issues on the weekend or anything like that, or have they all sort of come together pretty good?
Yeah, look, I think after the CCU game, you could probably see each club sticking together because we just got battered. But from the next week when we played the Mariners, they all seemed to be one again. Right? And that was really pleasing to see because I think in the 14s alone, there's 6 teams on the coast that the children are representing. Right? So there's actually quite a lot of a mixture of team or clubs.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that they're finally gelling. They're finally coming together as one. I think I heard one of the or two of the players, they must have played on the weekend in between that CCU and Mariners game, and they were just talking about the game, right? So they're already making friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how is it for you going from Tuesday nights at Budgewoi to then being on the sideline for the juniors? Have you had to sort of change the way you approach the game?
Yeah. So, I mean, look, if people have watched my coaching before, I swear a lot. So I've had to, bring that back down. I think the way you speak to the players differentiates from the 14s to seniors, right? So I think coming from CCU, having the experience at CCU in the youth, and then at Budge, I'm able to flip that switch and go from, the two different ones.
Do you hark back to any coaches sort of from your time from playing that sort of maybe had a similar style to you that you sort of base your game off, or have you always, as a player, sort of had a way you prefer to play?
Yeah, I don't think any coach has really stuck with a certain type of football, but obviously, like yourself, when we had Stu at CCU, I liked the way that he set us up and got us to play. I had a coach when I was in Newcastle, Tony Lucas, who he was a bit the opposite. He didn't care how we played, but he just had a defensive structure. And I really enjoyed that, right? Because as long as you get set, as soon as you get the ball, you've got freedom.
Attacking freedom.
Yeah, so I think just with all the coaches that I've had, you just take a bit here and there, and then, try and create your own thing, and then hopefully it pays off.
Yeah. How was your experience in Newcastle? How long were you playing up there for?
So I was at Valo for 3 years when we were in New FM and then got promoted into MPL 1. So that was a really good year.
Many other coaches, were the McGinleys and
so there? McGinleys were there. Alex Burrell was there.
Yeah, Buzz. What a player.
Coops. Aaron Cooper was there. Benny Glacken was there. And his brother.
Yeah.
I think there was a few in the 20s that were up there too. So there was actually a lot of coasties there.
Yeah.
Josh Swatto was there the final year. Yeah.
Well, speaking of Swatto, he's leading our Golden Boot standings at the moment. Obviously, I think it was last year when he got injured, he was playing in a sort of deeper role as a 6.
Yeah.
Is now that Chris Lennon's returning, is he going to be dropping back into that sort of role, or because he's scoring goals? Or
it's a tough one, right? It's a tough one. So he seems to just be banging them in. He's actually keeping a spot from Chris.
Yeah.
But I think I prefer him to play up top, but it's hard when you've got players like Chris, Taj, and Charlie.
Yeah.
Who are rapid, good with the ball, and they just offer you so much. But I feel like Swads is just doing an incredible job, especially considering last year, I think he only played 4.5 games.
Struggled to stay fit. Yeah.
Struggled to stay fit, and then got, I think it was a 12-week injury with his hamstring, and then managed to do it again in the final. So I mean, look, if he keeps banging them in, he's
got no reason to change it.
Yeah.
And then speaking on Charlie, obviously he made quite a name for himself in the East Gosford side, who struggled. Comes to Budgewoi MPL Player of the Year. How much does he add to your squad?
Yeah, he's phenomenal. We always say, he's just got a magnet in the ball and in his boots. You just can't get it off him, right? But I think in terms of off the ball, his work rate is just so far ahead of everyone else's. You can almost not play with a left back because he's just happy to go up and back, right? Yeah. I don't think there's very rarely times where we lose the ball and then he just stays, right? He's always getting back, but he was out yesterday, so we missed him yesterday. But yeah, from when we first saw him last year when he come over to now, he's just taking his game to another level. Whether that's the coaching or the environment that he's in with the players, or that he's just getting a bit more experience, getting older. Yep. Yeah, he's phenomenal.
Yeah, well, it's a pretty big accolade to win, especially someone of his age. Do you think that's changed him at all? Is he still got a pretty good attitude, or is he?
Yeah, he's always got a good attitude. He's a lovely kid as well. He's very humble. We try and talk him up at training, and he won't have a bar of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's definitely still a few things in his game that we're trying to help him with a bit.
Yep.
And then I think he could take it to the next level easily.
Yeah.
But
as someone who plays in Newcastle, he's definitely gaining some attraction from some clubs there. I'm sure he got approached quite from a lot of clubs. How was it to keep him at the club? Was it a hard decision for him to make? Do you know?
Yeah. So he was going to leave.
Yep.
To a club in Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that kept him was he's in his 4th year at uni for being a teacher.
Yeah.
So he goes on placement, so he wouldn't be able to train and then all that kind of stuff. And, we actually kind of sat him down, H and myself, and just said, the idea is not to keep you here forever.
Mm-hmm.
If there is opportunities out there, we want you to take them. But we'd also love you to stay here, right? So please pick us.
Yeah.
But I think I think it took him about 2 or 3 weeks to think everything over, and then he chose to stay and do his finish his uni degree, and so it's so good.
Yeah, it's good to have him. And then speaking more on the loss, how do you think the boys are going to bounce back from this? Like you said, you only had the one loss during the year last year, and then I don't think you lost again till the grand final. So you're expecting a similar bounce back? Yeah,
so I worked it out with H yesterday. That was the first league loss in 25 games, 25 league games.
Mm-hmm.
So it's bound to happen sooner or rather sooner than later. But I keep saying to the boys, like, everyone's just hunting us.
Yep.
So even though we were 4 points clear, we weren't playing like we were 4 points clear. It was like the league was sort of already done.
Mm.
So in a way, I'm happy that we've lost. Hopefully that lights the fire even further for them. But all the talk in the change room after from the players was just time to wake up. Can't let that happen again.
Yep.
And, move on.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see the bounce back this week. Even as the whole, like, you look at Terrigal last year to the team they had this year, and all the boys from CCU come back.
Yeah.
Do you think the whole comp as a whole is a lot stronger? You got your minor, obviously, with Chris Payne. He's doing his thing.
Yeah.
Even Gosford. I mean, they're struggling a bit, but with players like Melling and Joey Gibbs, it just seems like this year the comp has gone to a whole new standard.
Yeah, I definitely think, teams have recruited well. I think, the teams, or to be fair, the teams are a lot better than last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think you had your top 4 and it was like that for the whole year.
And then the rest.
They competed, but then the rest, it was just too big of a gap.
Yeah.
I feel like the comp is starting to split up a little bit now, but it's a lot closer than what it was. Like your minor are doing well to get promoted and, be looking for finals football middle of the year. Credit to them.
Yeah, they had a good win against Southern.
Yeah.
I mean, even Berkeley Vale, they just seem to be hanging in there. They're sort of flown under the radar. I looked at the ladder today and they're only a few points off there. So, it's good to see. Like, you want a healthy competition, right?
Yeah, of course. Like, it gets boring when, you want to win everything, right? But when you
don't want it to come too easy.
You don't want it to come too easy, so... And I like the tactical battle, right? So I actually like to try and figure out things and see where it goes. So it's been much better this year.
Yeah. Have you found sort of last year, because there probably wasn't much of an expectation around you when you played teams the first time, they set up a lot differently the second time, and that's where the sort of tactical thing comes in, where teams might be sitting back, so you got to figure out a way to break them down.
Yeah, definitely. Like teams even did it. Like Southern were really good at it. They caught us. They caught us off guard in the first one. I think we were missing players, but then vice versa when we played them at home, they were missing lots of players. We played a different style, managed to get them there. Then they played a completely different style again in the final, and then again in the grand final, right? So it's good, and I think that's what makes this year so much harder because teams are like, all right, well, we might have to do this a different way. Just to stay in the game, like your minor, we had a 2-2 draw with them at home, but they just sat off and just defended the box.
Yeah,
and then we went down to 10 men. We're still trying to plug away at it, but they hang in, right?
Yeah.
They had a defensive structure. They'd done well, and then we got to go. All right, well, maybe this week at training, We've got to work on how to beat a low block. So it's been good.
And going back to what you said earlier, when you sort of had a 3-year plan, accomplished it in one, when you revisit that, what does the sort of next 3 years look like for Budgewoi? Since sort of Kalani's dynasty ended, we haven't sort of seen the team maintain that top position for a while. Is that the goal?
So the goal is, well, you want to do better every year, right? And the only way was going to get better was to win the preseason cup, which we didn't manage to do, win the league, and then win the grand final, right? Because we got to every stage last year and then fell in both finals. So we want to win the league. Well, we just want to win everything. Yeah. There's no other – we're not here to just see how we go or see where we are. We want to be the best. We want to be the best every week, and we want to be hard to beat.
If you finish first again and then do lose the grand final, will you see the season as a failure?
I don't think it's a tough one, right? Because even though I feel like, if you go the best team over the whole year, I think was us last year, but then there's no credibility when you lose the grand final, right? So, yeah, I think it won't be a failure, but it'll just be like again. But we'll see.
Well, we're over the halfway point of this year's season, and it is tight. Yeah. Do you have a top 4 prediction, judging on everyone you've played so far?
Yeah, so I think if I just go off the top of my head now, in the order where the table sits now, you've got Budge, Southern, Burker, and Terrigal. I think those 4 will be very hard to drop out. But I also see teams causing upsets. Like, you can see an upset happening nearly every week. So I think if I was to put money on it, those would be the top 4.
That's the top 4, yeah.
But I can also see, you've got the likes of your Minor and Campbell who will be there. They'll be there right till the end. So yeah, it'll go down to the wire.
Interesting one on the weekend with your Minor dropping points to Rimba. Obviously, Rimba picking up their first points. I think that was just as shocking as seeing Budgewoi lose. It was quite a big weekend in the NPL. Yeah. When you boys found out, were you quite shaken? Obviously, your Minor took points off you, right?
Yeah. Well, like it just like you Minor take points off us, and then Arimba, credit to Fitzy, they get their first points of the year. But then the week before, we beat Kalani 4-0, and then they go and beat Terrigal 3-1. But then Terrigal beats us. Yeah. Right. And then
it just probably harps back to obviously the competition and how strong it is as a whole.
Yeah. And it's good to see.
Yeah.
I mean,
looking at other players around the comp, who are some of the standouts that you've seen from this year? Maybe some that people wouldn't know about.
Look, there's always those same players that have been here throughout the years. If you go with Southern, you've got Lepre, Elwood. They're always going to be firing. They're always going to be there for 90 minutes.
A lot of defenders don't like coming up against Elwood.
Yeah. He's a big boy, and he's hard, right? He wants to win everything. So you've got to have players like that in your team. I think, Burker's got Trengrove. He's a hard defender. They've picked up a few CCU boys, Geordie, Tommy Lyons. Yeah. So they're quality players as well. Terrigal with the CCU boys. They've all come back. They want to make put their mark on the league, which is good. So, and then obviously you got Lincoln Papalato at Wyoming. He's been firing them in. He's good. I had him at CCU.
Yeah, he's a CCU so that's youngster,
good. Yeah, I think I've coached him 2 or 3 years back at CCU, so that's good to see him putting them away.
Yeah. Well, you would have had, Caleb Murray too in the...
Nah. So he was... I've played with him, but not coached.
He didn't come up.
So he was in the 18s when I first joined, and I had the 15s.
Yeah. So he was always one from CCU where it's like, he'll go on to bigger.
And it's the same with Noah Ajala. Yeah. I think he's that same age. He's at Southern now. He's killing it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you see what CCU have done. Even Brownlow was there, and obviously Brownlow former player of the year for our local comp. So it's good to see these good players returning to the league and really taking over.
Yeah.
When it comes to sort of styles, is there one team you sort of like to play the most? I know Burka under Gumps, they play a lot of possession, they like to play out. Do you look forward to those games more because it is a sort of tactical battle?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you go like say a Berkeley Vale to Camel, you know
Camel's going to be direct.
Camel's just going to be direct, kick it long, fight for the seconds. But Berkeley Vale, you can actually set up, get a structure going, force them into areas that they don't want to go to. But with Gumps and Praddy, they've got the solutions to get out of those.
Yeah.
So then you're constantly having to coach.
Yeah.
Right. I prefer the Berkeley Vale style. Like Terrigal set up really well yesterday, and even though we have all the possession, you've got to be able to score, right?
Yeah.
Same as Southern, they always set up really good. So you're always having to tweak. Every 5 minutes you have to tweak something because something just magically happens with them.
Yeah, Paige is always coming up with ways to change things.
Yeah.
Even like going to Southern to play Southern at James Brown.
Yeah.
Are you looking at that to set up differently as if you would play them at home? Because obviously there's a nicer deck or Plume Park. Like you're looking at that as an influence on the game as well.
Yeah. So I think we set up differently every week in terms of player availability, where we're playing and who we're playing. So like off with that one with Southern, like James Brown compared to Budge is a lot smaller. So we have to set up differently, force them into different areas and hope that we get it right. But when we play them at Budge, we'll be completely different.
Yeah.
Because, we've got the space, like they'll probably set up differently as well, right? So it's a bit of yin and yang, right? It might not work, but then you go, all right, let's change it, do this on the fly and whatnot.
For you, obviously, the way you like to play, how nice is it to have a home field like Budgewoi?
Yeah, it's good. Like, and the boys love it, right? When we walk out of the change room onto the pitch, you're just like, all right, it's perfect. Like, it's just like playing on carpet. And then you've got the space to be creative. You can move the ball from side to side. Teams hate it, right? Because they have to move, have to cover ground.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's lovely.
And night games this year.
Yeah.
That's been a nice addition.
Yeah. So,
especially having the club next door and the old boys getting involved. I'm sure the environment's been really good.
So it's good. Right? I think we go back to the start of the year. We played a trial game and we specifically said, let's do it so we can have a first night game. And Storm rolled in and cut the game. The refs waited an hour and a half and said, all right, we'll get it going, right? Yeah. So it's been a massive buzz. Everyone wants to play night games and play on a good pitch, right? So credit to H and everyone at Budgewoi for making that happen. Yeah. It's fantastic.
Now, like I said earlier, this is going out a week late because we will be in Mudgee for the Association Championship. Hopefully you're leading the team to victory. So we're going to get predictions from you, but we're going to go for next week. If we can get a breakdown on how you think the games will go and then a score prediction. The first game will go Killarney versus Gosford.
Killarney, Gosford.
Yeah, both sitting on 7 points at the moment.
Yeah.
They still have to play each other twice. So
so this is the washout round?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, look, I think that'll be a fantastic game, right? Both teams will be desperate for a win there. Is it at Killarney?
Yep. I think it was meant to be their Old Boys Day, so I'm not sure if they're doing Old Boys Day again or not, but at Edzak on a Saturday night.
I mean, look, you always like a home advantage. Killarney seem to be firing at the minute. They've bounced back after we got them. So, and Gosford, they've still got players, Joey, that can hurt you.
Yep.
I think the occasion will be very big, and I'm going to go 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw.
Yeah.
Yep. That same night, we have Umina and Terrigal. We talk about that top four battle.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be very important for where these two teams end up at the end of the year. How do you see that one playing out?
So
at Umina Oval.
At Umina. So Umina coming off the draw, and then I think they have to play Southern in between that. So these next 2 weeks are going to define where they finish, right? And then obviously the same with Terrigal. I think if Terrigal can continue off how they played yesterday against us, I think they'll get the job done. Whether your Miners field plays a part in that, I think Terrigal 3-0.
Yeah. That same night as well, Wyoming, they're hosting Budgewoi, hosting you boys at Allendavo.
Yeah.
How do you think you'll go under the lights of Allendavo there?
Yeah, look, that was a tough game there last year. Last game of the season. We managed to get the job done. Obviously, I'll back our team to win. I'd hope that we'd win pretty comfortably. We should have a few players back by then. And, that could be a big statement round for us as well. So I'm going to go a big win here and say I'm going to put on my boys and say 5-0.
Right. Who you got as your 5 goal scorers?
I'm going to say Swads is going to bang in 2, Charlie 1, Taj 1, and I'm going to say Liam Sterrett back post header or something.
Sharing the load around there. The Sunday, we got Camwell hosting Arimba. Arimba obviously coming off their first point. Maybe a turning point for them. Very young side. And you work with Fitzy?
Yeah, so I was with Fitzy at CCU. He was in the JDL a lot of the times, but he'd help out everywhere.
Yeah.
Like he's one big family there, so that was good to see him get a result on the weekend. I think if they can build on that and get another result this weekend before this match, I think they can build on something really good. Obviously, Camwell's in a bit of a slump. I think they've had a few players missing, which, you have 3 or 4 players out, that hurts.
Yeah, big time.
Big time. So, yeah, I mean, if we give credit to Fitzy there, hopefully he can continue that. And
you're predicting an upset?
I'll give him some motivation and give him a 1-0 win.
Awesome. And the final game for that round, this is a big one. We got Berkeley Val. They're hosting Southern. This is their first hit out. So these teams too will have to play each other twice, which could have big implications on obviously where they finish at the end of the year. How do you think them going head-to-head will play out?
Yeah, that's a tough one, right? That, Berkeley Val just defend so well, and they seem to be putting them in the back of the net as well now, so they're on a real big roll. Southern are obviously always tough to play. They've got quality players that just, if you take a nap for 30 seconds, they punish you and get the ball in the back of the net. I would love a draw for a Budgewoi supporter. Obviously, Berkeley got them in the cup final.
Golden goal.
Yeah, so it was 2 draw, minutes, the draw, and then...
Was it a Geordie Howe header, I think? I don't know.
It was in Queensland, but I know... that was probably a deflection.
Yeah. I don't want to give Geordie credit.
Yeah. Look, they're both teams are going to be up for it. I'm going to say a 1-1 draw. In favour of Budge.
Right. And normally when we got a guest coming on the podcast, we go to social media. Because this is a delayed episode, we didn't do that. But I had a friend of ours text in. He wants to know who is your best five-a-side from players you've either played with or coach.
So I could imagine who that friend is.
Yeah, if you don't put him in after you listen to this podcast, I think your next work day might be a
I'll be with him tomorrow. You watch, I know. Goalie or no goalie?
That's up to you. We, in the past, we don't do a goalie. You can give an honourable mention to the best goalie you've had, but we'll go 5 out.
I won't go goalie. I won't go goalie, but 5 players that I've played with, or 4 players that I've played with, and 1 player that wants to be in there. I'd say defender-wise, I'll play a 1-2-2.
Yep.
I'll go Liam Sterrett from Budgewoi at the back. I played 1 year with Terry Antonis before he went overseas. So I'll put Terry Antonis in there.
It's a good
in
name
the middle.
to have,
Yeah. I'll get I'll get him in there with Tyson Adams because I'm sure that question was from him. So them two,
He'll
right?
be carrying the load for Tyson there.
So Terry's going to play by himself.
Tyson will probably get sent off after 5 anyway. So
yeah. So if we can control his temper, we'll be right. And then 2 up top. I mean, I've got to have Charlie in there.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be so good in a 5-a-side court. And then one more. Look, there's a lot of players. They're probably going to hate me for not putting them in there.
People are going to miss out.
I'll put Ethan De Bono in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I had him at CCU for a few years, and he's at the Jets now, thriving. So, yeah, there's going to be a few players there that hate that.
Yeah, I don't think Swatto will be happy. Mate. Swatto on the bench.
Yeah, Swatto on the bench, right? Like, you can even have Bailey Appo, Taj Werner.
Yep.
I played with Macca at CCU. Played with this. I don't think I've played with you.
No, I don't think our careers ever linked up. No, even when I think when I left the entrance, you weren't there. When I left CCU, you weren't there. So never had the opportunity.
Yeah, so can't have you in there
unless I come to Budgewoi next year.
yeah, we'll see. I mean, you guys are doing well up at Bell Swans. Yeah, that would have to be.
Yeah,
Swads on the bench, Bailey on the bench, Taj Werner on the bench.
Yeah. You mentioned Liam, I think he sort of come through the rep program, but I didn't really hear much of him. But he's really come into his own.
So I think he was at CCU.
Yeah,
I think Chopo had him when I first come over, so he was the year above, and then obviously coming to Budge, getting to know him a bit better.
Yeah,
there, but yeah, he's incredible.
Yeah,
for someone who doesn't speak at all, he just
goes about it.
Yeah, he goes about it. Like, yeah, he's so hard to play against.
Yeah.
Even if I jump in at training, it's just like, Liam, get out of the way.
Yeah.
But he's good, right? Like, you said before, you touched on players hate playing against Elwood.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm pretty sure we've heard along the grapevine where Elwood hates playing against Liam.
Yeah.
So it's good to have that competitive edge in the comp as well.
Yeah. Someone to counter that.
Someone to counter it, which it doesn't always work, but when they're on, they're very good.
Yeah, and we are a long way away from ending the season. A lot can happen, but for you, obviously, I'm sure you're backing yourself to be in the grand final. Do you think if you make it, it'll be a rematch with Southern?
Yeah, I think going off the first round, I think it'd be hard to go past ourselves and Southern. But, when we lost the semi and the final last year, and then only just beat Burker in the final to get into the Grandy, it's going to be with the 4. It's going to be anyone's game.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be who turns up on the night. But yeah, I think obviously I fancy us to be there. I think Southern will have a bit of edge over the other 2 teams, but also don't want to play Berkeley Vale in a final.
Well, even the Terrigal boys, a lot of them players have been there before, and against the Killarney teams, 2 grand final wins between them. So finals. It's a whole different ball game, right? And that's what makes it so exciting.
Yeah.
I think having those 4 teams, if you are the 4, to come out here and play on Plume Park will be a good watch. And I just think the standard of football on the coast is getting better and better. So I'm sure no matter what teams make it, it's going to be a great game like we had last year.
I think so too. I think any of those 4, any of the other 3 besides us that make it, it's going to be hard. It'll be tough. And then it's just whoever turns up and wants it more, right?
Yeah.
Which we've seen throughout the year, it's going to happen.
Yeah. Last one for you personally. Where do you see yourself in the next sort of 5 years with your coaching? I know we talked about you possibly doing your A license and looking to go forward. If you couldn't look into the future, what would that look like for you?
Same again. I'd like to coach at the highest level possible.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's on the coast, in Sydney, in Newcastle, opportunities seem to arise every year. So I would like to be NPL 1, let's say in the next 5 years, whether Budge decides to ever go back up north like they did, 20 odd years ago, even longer. But I think once I get my A license, probably try and even go for pro license, and then just see where it takes me.
What is the A license? That's like is it 1 or 2 years?
I think it's definitely, I think it's easy 1. Yeah. Because the B license takes a year.
Yeah.
But the A license is just more about your philosophy. And I mean, there's no right or wrong way to coach, right? If you believe it.
That's right. Yeah.
It works. But
I think that's a good thing about football. Like there's so many different ways to play. And at the end of the day, if you score more goals than the other team and you win, your philosophy can be whatever as long as you're...
Like, you seen Australia versus Turkey the other week. Yeah. Everyone's writing us off, but they had a formula. Yeah. It worked.
Exactly right.
And it might not be the best formula. Yeah. But, we've managed to go through. Yeah. So as long as it works, it's good for me.
Well, thanks for coming on. I'm excited to see where you do progress with your career, and I'm looking forward to seeing you out in Mudgee with our youngsters.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Corey.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Coast Football Weekly. Please remember to like and subscribe on YouTube and leave a rating and review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. As always, we'll catch you next week for another episode.